Hello guys, welcome to another video. So in today's tutorial, we're going to talk about a very popular project which is ranked GitHub trending #1 today. It's called OpenViking, a context database for AI agents. So for the AI agents, one of the very crucial and challenging problem is context management. And so in a lot of the systems, the contexts are very fragmented, like the memories, files such as PDFs or the media files. And also when a session ended, the agent will usually forget everything. So the context is crucial but very challenging to manage. So OpenViking, which is a part of the ByteDance's cloud group, they created this project to help with the context management. And you can see from the GitHub repo, it is very popular. It got almost 12k stars. It's probably 11k, 12k stars in a very short period of amount of time. In today's tutorial, we're going to show you what this is, how to install it, and how to test it. So it's 100% free, no string attached. So that being said, let's get started. So if you just go to the GitHub repo, you can directly clone it to install the OpenViking. There are basically two steps. First, you have to install the server, and then you have to install the client. So there's different ways to access the server. We'll talk that a little bit later. But first, let's install the server. So first, you basically have to install the OpenViking as a pip package. There's 3 ways to demonstrate it, to install it. But the best way to do that is just do a pip install OpenViking as the Python package. So after that is completed, then you can start the OpenViking server. But before you start the OpenViking server, then you have a few more things to do. The first, you have to install the OpenViking bot. So this is basically to allow OpenViking client to chat with the server, not like a SDK or the CLI, which they also offer that, but this is almost like a chat experience. So we have already done that. So you can see if you install the chat client, you basically can talk to the OpenViking server as an interactive section. You can just ask what's in the memory, what's in the sessions, and what are the files, right? So on and so forth. So it's very convenient. So before you spin up the OpenViking server, make sure you install the OpenViking bot as the chat client. So that's one thing to note. And so here's the script you want to use to install the chatbot. And then after you spin up installed all the server side of things and also the chatbot, then you have to config the server. So basically you have to look at this JSON file. So there are different parts of it. It's a little bit different than the OpenViking's GitHub README, but I think this works pretty well. So you can initiate a workspace for OpenViking to anywhere you want it. So for example, on the Kaggle notebooks, you can just specify it as a OpenViking data or OpenViking data 2, something like that. So in the embeddings, they do use embeddings to actually facilitate the queries searches. So this is a very important part of the configuration. So the embedding, you can use Ollama. For example, this is what we demoed here. Basically, the model we use is nomic embed tags. So if you have not seen the videos how to install Ollama on Kaggle, feel free to check out the video in the link in the video description. So after you set up the Ollama to install the VLLM model and also embeddings, you should use it here. So the OpenViking uses a LLM that supports visual. So you need to use maybe Q1 3.5 27B for that purpose. And for the embedding, we can just use the nomic embed or other models you prefer. So once Ollama is set up, you can configure everything in this way to allow OpenViking to use it. So this is a very short setup for the server side. So you do not really need to configure the client side, so everything is by default. So if you want to configure it, here's the option to configure the OV CLI. So the OV is a short form for OpenViking. So just not be confusing the different things. So OV they use for the CLI is basically OpenViking. So once you install the OpenViking server as a package, then you can use the OpenViking client CLI directly. So there's no extra step. You can just use it. For example, you can just say OpenViking status, and OV status is the same as OpenViking. So then you can also add resources. For example, if you want to add a PDFs or you want to add a web page, GitHub page, all types of resources, you can just do a OV add resource. So then this is how they actually club all different resources into the system, and you can list the resources that you added. You can list anything. It's basically like a file system. So OpenViking works like a agentic file system to manage all the memories and files, so on and so forth. So this is basically, you see all these different file management command, like a bash command on Linux systems. So they have ls or ov tree. So basically this is a tree view. You can also set the level of the tree you want to review it. So this is level 2. So you can also find in the system by just querying what is OpenViking or any query you wanted, and also you can grab some of the context from this URI you specified in here. So it's very convenient by just using the CLI. There's other ways to access it. As we showed earlier, one of the ways is to use the chat. The chat is right here. So you can see the OV chat, you can talk to it. And CLI, the other two ways is through the SDK and also the RESTful API. So if you go to the RESTful API, for example, they also documented in the documentation right in their examples. So if you go to the OpenViking top repo, there's a docs, there's a API section. So you can go to the API or the documentation to see how the RESTful API are going to be used. And for example, if you want to just list all the resources as we demoed in the CLI, you can simply call this API. For example, if you are on localhost, we can just do localhost 192.33. Then you can just run this simple RESTful API to get the resource list. So you can see if you run this bash command, you can see these are the resources under this OpenViking folder. So if you, for example, this OpenViking data, as we set the default root of this storage, they can see under the Viking resources, and the resources we added are this TMPE. There's a bulk engine. You can see the list here are the two resources. So this is how you actually use the RESTful API. If you want to use the SDK, which is probably a lot of people prefer, so you can just simply use the from OpenViking, import OpenViking. Then you can first initiate the client using OpenViking, and also create a session to talk to the OpenViking server. And also you can run the same thing as a find command, but using SDK. You can do a kind.list the memories, and you can also loop through the results to figure out what this system has. So it's very convenient. There's typically these 4 ways to access the OpenViking server. If you want to read it more, you can also go to their FAQ to understand a lot of the details how to use the SDK. For example, you probably want to do a wait for the session, because this is actually a async call, so you want to wait the results to come back. There's a lot of great documentation that's listed in the FAQ. Feel free to check those out. It is very helpful. So that should be it. If you want to use this with OpenClaw, I think this is most people will look into. It is to install, just set up the OpenClaw configuration. You don't have to install extra. So for example, you just have to enable the plugins and also make sure there's a memory section, and the memory configure as a remote, and point to your OpenViking server, put your API key, which is optional. Then you can set auto recall, auto capture to true. So this is documented in the OpenViking's official documentation. then you can start using OpenClaw with OpenViking. It's a very cool project. Once these are all set up together, the memory management for OpenClaw is going to be really efficient. So, and hopefully this is helpful. So if you like this video, please subscribe, like, or comment if you have any questions. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and see you in the next one.